Hi everyone, my name's Tania and I work at Rightway. I'm going to very quickly go over some basic bank reconciliation things we can do within Xero and some of the pitfalls people fall into or unsure about. So this is from your dashboard. As you probably all are aware, if you pop into the reconciliation button, if you have invoices entered already into Xero with all the correct details on it, Xero will learn to match with names or invoice numbers or amounts to transactions that come through your bank statement and transactions in Xero. So if they come up green, like the first two here, it is just a point of checking the amount, the name, and in this instance, the reference number, and they do match, so you can press the OK button and they have disappeared. This one here, the city limousines, there is a discussion button. So someone has posted in this discussion button, wasn't sure where to code this one. We can see city limousines, it's got 0017 and then part. So we can find and match with that one, and we will search by city limousines, see what comes up. And we have one here, 0017 for 250. So we can click this one and split the payment because they're doing a part payment of that. Now Xero already knows how to do the math, so it starts at 250. They've paid 100, so that remaining amount to pay is 150. So we can split that and just match it off. One thing we do commonly see is people manually entering in bank transactions, so they're not coming through the bank account. So these would be incorrect, and we need to go and fix these up. You can tell by clicking into bank transactions and then looking at the bank transaction source. It should be either imported if you've imported a bank statement, or bank file if it goes directly from the bank, which that Xero happens to update. I think it's every night. So these three here at the top are ones that people have manually entered in themselves. So they haven't come through the bank. And so if we reconciled everything else, your bank account in Xero and your main bank account with your bank, in this case ASB, would still not reconcile to be correct because we have some transactions here that don't match. So you'll be highlighting these. I can highlight them all and remove and redo. Yes, we want to remove them. They're not actually correct transactions. So they all need to have something down in the bank transaction source. You know you can sort by clicking on that blue label, and that will change that. And the same with the status. If you need to check if anything's unreconciled, you can just click the button, and if anything's unreconciled, that will jump to the top. All right, let's go back into the reconciliation. Another thing we see a lot of people making transactions, so creating transactions for bank transfers, and that I mean bank transfers between two accounts they've got loaded. Now, unfortunately, this one only has one bank account, so I can tell you how to do it, but I can't show the other end. So say, for example, the Smart Agency was actually a bank transfer. We would be transferring out of this to another account, reference if we need it, and then OK. Now, if I had on the other side of the bank account, I could go in there and I could see that and match it off because it would be a bank feed, so coming directly from your bank account, and then it would come up green automatically, and I can match them off. We don't want to create one on one bank account and create the other side in the other bank account because we're going to have double entries there. Another thing we can do in our bank reconciliation is set up bank rules. This one has got one that's 7-Eleven, for example. I can tell because it comes up with a blue title and it's got apply rule. So we can edit the rule or we don't apply the rule if for some reason that's changed for that transaction. So let's have a look at this rule. So when we set up a rule, we go through and find out who the payee is and any words that it always has to contain. So this one, it's got 11. And what content we want it to be called, and then where it's going to. So since a corner store, it's going to office expenses with the tax rate at 15%. And then is your bank account that we're going to set it through. This one's got set on all bank accounts, and give the rule a title, so the one that shows up on the Xero side of the screen. And again, it's called 711. Scroll back to that. So anything that comes in with that, it will come up automatically as a rule. To make a rule right from the get-go, we can click on our options screen button here from the screen and create bank rule. And again, just go through those steps that we just showed you before, and that will set up that bank rule. And then everything from Cooper Street Bakery would come up blue. If for some reason you didn't need it on for that transaction, then we just say don't apply rule. Depending on how busy you are as a business, how many transactions that go through your account is depending on how often we would recommend reconciling your account. There are some businesses we are reconciling every day for, and others we're only reconciling once a week or once every couple of weeks, depending on the amount of transactions. It's a good idea to keep up to date and attach any invoices or receipts that you need to, so you remember what things are for. So when your accountant comes in at the end of the financial year or for GST periods and asks for receipts or documents, they're actually already loaded into Xero, so it won't be a problem. Right, I think that is all. Thank you for joining me, and we will catch up again later.